Do you like old school industrial stuff?
I like everything. I mean, it's just I can appreciate.
Like, if you listen to much like Skinny Puppy or.
I've not heard Skinny Puppy.
Okay, that's like 80s industrial stuff.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You know, that you'd be into that and into Comic Christ, but not know Skinny Puppy. Which is funny. You know, like, it's just funny that you like got on the bus at that time. You know what I mean? Because that kind of weird electronic thing is born out of that.
And I can sing pretty much every major Temptation song lyric by lyric. Temptations is probably one of my favorite groups.
That's one of my favorite jokes in that Dewey Cox movie at the end. Do you know that joke?
Which one?
He's quit drugs and alcohol. And the Temptations.
Oh, no, the Temptations.
Yeah, they're singing there. Oh, the Temptations.
My girl, talking about my girl, yeah. My girl.
The Temptations.
When it's cold outside.
Dewey, so Walk Hard is
Yeah.
probably one of the most underrated. I hate saying underrated.
It is.
But it's so
underknown.
funny.
Oh, absolutely.
So funny because it hits on so many different kind of like archetypes or tropes or whatever of the music business.
Yeah.
It's just
and
it's
films
so
of
good.
the era,
Yeah.
the biopic.
Yeah.
And
they actually hired musicians to make their songs. So the songs don't sound
the
bad.
songs are great.
Yeah, like when you hear Walk Hard.
Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. Or Let's Duet.
Let's duet.
in ways that make us feel
My brother
good.
does that one, but he
Really?
has a friend who does it with.
It's so good.
In my dreams, I'm blowing you
Some kisses. Yeah, it's so good. And yeah, the girl who played Pam from The Office, I can't remember her name, but that
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
I didn't watch The American Office.
It was good.
I'm that guy. I only like the British one.
You know, honestly, I watched The American Office first, then I watched the British one, and I love Ricky Gervais, but just it was so like it was just too overpowering, that character, and I was just like, oh, because Michael Scott was hard to watch in the American version, and the British version is a lot worse.
Oh,
so I was just like, oh,
there's no punches pulled at all in the British one.
Yeah,
it's so.
You really haven't watched the American one?
No, because the thing that rubbed me the wrong way is that I loved the British one.
Yeah.
And then the American one came out, and Ricky Gervais was a producer on it.
Yeah.
They just did the same scripts. So for me, it was like,
so it's like you're just watching the same thing twice.
Cover band.
Yeah, I got you.
I couldn't get into it.
I did,
which was sad because I was excited about
Yeah.
the concept of doing it in America, but the first two seasons are just The Office over again. But not as good.
To be
like
fair,
a facsimile.
The first two seasons were probably the weakest ones.
Really? It gets better?
It does get better because
you know what? You're not the first person to tell me that.
When we first started watching, we're like, okay, this is, you know, especially Steve Carell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Michael Scott was just like, it was good. He's a good actor, but his character was like, this is just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then as it went by, you know, the relationships are developed, the characters got finer tuned, and then like, I forget how many seasons there are, but that middle section, you know, up until Steve Carell left.
You know, it had occurred to me that I should probably kind of muscle my way through that because they were able to extend the story where the British one didn't.
And there was some.
But did you watch the British one?
I've seen some of it.
Okay, you should watch all of it because they do this. They did 2 seasons, and then they do.
It was only 2?
It was only 2 seasons.
I didn't know that.
2, that's it. But then they do one more. They do this one Christmas special. And it's glorious.
Yeah.
The reunification of final unification of Pam and what's his name, Jim, I think it was.
Jim, yeah.
In the British one.
Yeah.
I don't like the character. I don't like the actors in the American one.
In the American
one,
one,
I love the actors in the British one.
In the American one,
and you will see a fucking 6'5", 300-pound dude cry if you watch that one.
That Jim and Pam story
Yeah.
is probably the biggest like connecting thing
Absolutely.
throughout it. Like, and it expands.
But they did
so
it over
much.
many seasons.
Yeah, I mean it was like, I don't know, 8, 9 seasons, something like that.
Of will she, won't she kind of thing.
Oh no, that was
Did
about
they get
halfway
together?
through. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say
But they
to
keep
what
going.
extent. Yeah.
Okay.
And the dude who plays, is there a Dwight in the British?
Absolutely. He's fucking right. He's the cross-eyed pirate dude from the Pirates of the Caribbean. The comic relief guy.
I remember.
He plays
okay,
Dwight.
yeah. Well,
I don't even know if his name is Dwight in this.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson,
Who
plays
is fantastic.
Dude, he's so good as Dwight.
He's hilarious.
He's so great. Like, yeah, and it's the first couple scenes are a little rough, but it really does open up. I mean, we watch it every year. It's just, but I didn't know the British one was, and I think that's probably what turned me off.
Was that short it was?
Well, no, the British version, because it is so close. Because when I watched the American version, and you're saying that it was just like the same thing.
Same scripts.
Yeah, so like I watched the first few episodes, and I'm
I've
like,
seen this one already.
so I'll
Muscle
give it,
through them.
Yeah.
Because
You too.
Because I want you to see the Christmas one.
Yeah.
They did like this after it ended. I guess there was a clamoring for more, so they did like a made-for-TV movie almost, like a Christmas thing, and it just is great. And then Ricky Gervais, Ricky Gervais did a Netflix thing of like what happened to that character after.
Yeah, I saw that where he's just like a bunch of
Because he like spent all his had a settlement or something from the company, or what was it? When you get fired, you get a payment. It's a
compensation
severance.
package. Yeah.
He spent it all on like making a single of If You Don't Know Me by Now.
Yeah. There's a little. I forget which season it is, but there's a time where those two characters meet.
Really?
Yeah. Michael Scott from
In the American one.
Yeah.
No shit.
And you're just like,
Wow.
because they're the same person.
I mean, do they love each other, or do they? Oh wow.
Yeah. It's very brief.
They get
but
each other's jokes and like they don't hate each other. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
so good,
great.
dude.
That's great.
So good.
I had a chip on my shoulder about it. I do. But
Try it.
that's like it's stupid because I love Steve Carell too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the whole cast is really good. Even like the secondary characters are solid. They're so good. I think
It's so weird when shows come over from somewhere else, and it just all depends upon when you get on the bus. Like House of Cards on Netflix.
There's a British
I
version.
love House of Cards
Yeah.
on Netflix, but then I found out there's a British version.
was the
I
British
thought-
one the first, or was it
The Rubens original was
Okay.
British. Yeah, I've never seen the British one, but I'm afraid to watch it. You know what I mean? Because I love the American version of it. But then it was like disappointing to find out, like, oh shit, that was already done before.
at the risk of losing potential fans?
Yeah, because we have like two,
We have two.
and we called one of them tonight.
One of them tonight. Yes. Actually, my mom's a fan too. She's like, yeah, listen to your podcast. So, love you, Ma.
My mom was like, we used to have these kind of conversations all the time. It's so nice to be able to hear you
Oh, that's cool.
say those things.
That's cool.
Now that I have kids and I'm married and like blah blah blah.
My mom was like, I wish you had told me more about your mental health problems.
Shit.
And I was like, well, I thought I did.
Well, now you know, Ma.
Yeah,
now
well,
you
now.
know.
I love you, Ma.
Chicharrones.
I love you, Mom. But at the risk of losing a couple potential fans, or all of our fans. Yeah, I didn't turn my mic off before, so you heard me crunching early. I'm sorry about that. They're so good.
Just keep talking.
I want to see an American version
Fell out of my mouth there. Hold on.
of Doctor Who.
Say what?
I do, but not Doctor Who. I want it to be
Doctor what?
I want it to be in the same universe, but it's not Doctor Who, but it's another Time Lord that Doctor Who doesn't know about. You know, like his American cousin or something. You know?
Kind of like the way they're doing the Harry Potter thing now.
Yeah. Yeah. That could, well, I mean, I want it to be in the same time. Like I want it to be like, you know, Doctor Who's doing their thing, and at the same time you got this dude living, or dude, chick, whoever, male, female, non-binary, whatever the case is, in America at the same time.
You know what the first version of that is?
What?
Mormonism.
Mormonism.
Yep.
I'm confused.
Jesus on his way to heaven stopped in America.
Oh,
And they had Old American Adventure.
I got mixed up there, and they saw the tablets, and they
Yep.
looked in the hat, and all the goggles and the glasses. I learned it all from South Park.
It's the American dum 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 dum.
So yeah, I'd like to see that. I even, because I'm not going to say I'm a big Doctor Who fan, because I don't know the whole universe, but I am a Doctor Who fan. And sorry, our cat's
Kitty?
he smells the food.
Chicharrones.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? But he's letting you do that because he knows there's food nearby. Here, we'll give him a treat.
My cat won't eat anything human.
Yeah, remember that?
Won't eat it. My cat only
we're
likes.
appealing to the internet now
Oh.
with cats. Oh, no, well, there you go.
Hang on.
Let him find it.
Get the meat, you puss.
You puss.
There you go.
Ooh, I got a comment about that in a second. But
About
yeah,
pussy?
yes. So, American Doctor Who, but I like it to be where like it's a more powerful Time Lord, and they know that Doctor Who exists, but they just kind of stay out of it. Like they know all the shenanigans that Doctor Who does, and they just kind of do their own thing, and they just like live a normal life, and then at some point they intersect.
Yeah.
I created a bit of fan fiction.
Because that always works.
I'm not going to tell, because the problem is that I made it without knowing the real universe. Because I watched the show, but I don't know all the
You're like,
ins
I got
and
it.
outs.
I'll write my own.
Yeah, like I don't know all the ins and outs, so I created this big story about like when Gallifrey fell, and this character, what their position, who they were at Gallifrey, and why they were able to survive. And basically, and I'm not going to go into it because it is a fan fiction, so it's unreasonably long. But they were like the record keeper for Gallifrey.
Okay.
So they had pretty much all knowledge from all Time Lords, right? And then when Gallifrey fell, it was something that they kind of predicted, so they just kind of popped out before everything happened, you know? And now they're living in America and, you know, living the American dream. But anyway, Puss.
Your cat's rubbing on my leg when you said that. Okay.
So I'm working on a stand-up bit because I'm trying to do some stand-up comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not doing that class, are you?
No, I'm not doing the class.
Yeah. Because you're above it all.
No. Okay, so shout out to Prodigy Talent Training, because I feel like when we talked about it last time, I felt like I came off as pretentious, and I didn't.
I don't think you did. But
okay. They're an amazing school, and they provide a really great service to people trying to get into the acting business, and they do great classes and everything, and they're amazing people. They're all beautiful people. I love them very much.
no better place to start.
Especially in this area.
There is zero in this area. That's the place to start.
Yeah, so wanted to put that out there because I felt a little bad when I was listening to our last one. But anyway, I'm working on this stand-up thing, and I'm talking about genitals a lot.
Yeah.
And fun little fact that a lot of people don't know. You probably do because you're a smart guy.
About genitals.
So when people say pussy and they use it as a derogatory term, like, oh, you're a pussy. Well, that came from so don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussycat. Don't be a scaredy cat. That's why...
Nothing to do with the female
Nothing to do with
genitalias.
vaginas. Everything to do with cats being afraid of things, right?
Fearful
So don't be a
pussycats.
scaredy cat. Don't be a pussycat.
Don't be
be
a
a pussy.
Huh.
And eventually, pussy went from being related to a feline to female reproductive organs, and wires got crossed.
And that's where I got... Yeah.
And that's why when you say someone's a pussy, it's because you think they're like a coward or something, but it's really because of that.
You're a scaredy cat.
Yeah, you're a scaredy cat.
Fascinating.
So I go...
Because I've been cutting my use of the word pussy because of that. Because of the preconception of that I'm equating it to somehow to femininity.
Well, before, like, you know, I knew like the term pussyfoot.
Yeah.
I knew that meant like cats, like pussycat.
To pussyfoot around something, yeah.
So I would say that, and I remember I got in trouble one time at a job because I told a manager, I'm like, we shouldn't pussyfoot around this, and they thought I was talking about that. And I'm like, that's not what I'm talking. That's not what it means. But I never put two and two together until recently.
Isn't it funny how that works out, though?
Yeah.
But like if I called you a fag right now, it has nothing to do with a British cigarette.
Yeah. Or a bundle of sticks.
You're such a bundle of sticks.
You're such a bundle of sticks. But that's what was it? I think it was the Louis C.K. show where he did a bit on, because he talked about feeling guilty for using the word fag. And I know there's a lot of controversy on Louis C.K. right now. We're not going to talk about that. But
the show.
But the show, he was talking about, with his gay comedian friend, about feeling bad for using the word fag. And, the guy was like, he told him the history about how, like, a bundle of sticks is called a fag, and that's what you would use to burn people, and they would, like, burn gay people back in the day. So they related, you're not even, basically, and I might be butchering this. If I am, I apologize. I am mildly inebriated.
You go ahead and blame the devil, bro.
Blame the devil. But basically he said they considered them to be less than the things that they used to burn them with. So
Wow.
that's why they called them fags. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know the
And that could be complete bullshit. But
history of that word, but that makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So very, very interesting. But yeah, so it's just it's kind of cool when you look at the history of language and how we use these certain terms, you know. And I go, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do in the stand-up bit. I talk about like how we use like genitalia as these, you know, these descriptors for things. You know, like when you call someone a dick, what does that mean? Oh,
It means he's a jerk.
yeah, or an asshole. Which
But
an asshole, yeah, exactly, right. So the bit is, it's like, well, what physical characteristics can you prescribe to that person's personality that you can say that you can call them a dick? You know, are they hard? Are they soft? Are they hairy? Do they wear a hat?
Do they transport
Circumcision
urine?
joke. So,
Are they,
so you heard it here first.
That is funny how the word dick has turned into meaning an asshole.
Yeah. I think Russell Peters did. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedy. I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it as an art form. And Russell Peters did a bit one time where he's talking about someone called him a dick face. He's like, "What does that even mean? Like, what makes you look at me and consider me a dick face? Like, I don't." He's like, "Like what? What does that even look like?" He's like, "Like, what is a dick
Dick
face?
doesn't have eyes. Dick
Yeah.
doesn't have, I guess it has a mouth, but
Something. It's got one eye."
what, spewing urine all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan, so I love those kind of bits.